Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from Makeshift Studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. Follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. I am also on Cash App and Venmo at the Joey Harris. And of course, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. For bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show, the Green Room, the Book Club Baristas, so much more, just $5 a month for hours of extra content. And folks, getting into the Burr months, as it'll be September when this drops. And today, we take a look at Survivor Series 2001 from the WWF. Survivor Series 2001 was shown on pay-per-view on November the 18th, 2001 from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. There were 13,142 in attendance and the show did 450,000 pay-per-view buys. We start out with an intro of the history of the WWF, the Alliance, and what's at stake with Fred Blassie looking on. This was really well done. It gave me chills. Jim Ross and Paul Heyman welcome us, and these two are on fire as we begin. We start out with our WWF European Championship match, Christian versus Al Snow. Christian gets in the ring and puts the crowd down. Snow gets a tremendous reaction when he comes out. Snow takes Christian down. He gets a 2 count. Christian beats Snow in the corner. Christian gets a side headlock on. Christian with a suplex. He chokes Snow for a 3 count. Christian goes back to attacking Snow in the corner. Snow comes back with a series of jabs. Snow hits a thrust kick for a 2 count. Christian with a death drop, but he wastes time and Snow gets a 2 count. Christian rolls through a crossbody for a 2 count. Snow gets the snowplow, but Christian gets his foot on the ropes. Christian hits the Unprettier to get the pin. Steve Austin arrives and the Alliance asks him if he is turning on the Alliance. Austin says he's the leader and they should stop being paranoid. Vince and Linda McMahon are shown. He tells her she can't have it both ways. Michael Cole comes up for comment. Vince says he is concerned, but the WWF is going to win. He built an empire by taking risks. William Regal comes up to McMahon. He says he's going to take great pleasure in watching McMahon lose everything. Flashback to what led to the next match. William Regal versus Tajiri. Tajiri attacks Regal with stiff kicks right away. Regal gets Tajiri down. Tajiri comes back with kicks to the legs. Regal's nose is busted open as Tajiri gets the tarantula on. Regal gets out and Tajiri gets caught in the ropes. Regal attacks Tajiri, back and forth. Both men down. Regal with a double underhook powerbomb to get the pin. Regal hits another powerbomb after the match. Tori Wilson comes out to check on Tajiri. Regal then powerbombs her. Flashback to what led to the next match. Title unification match. Intercontinental Champion Test versus United States Champion Edge. Test is shown in the back with Stacy Keibler. He hits on her. Coach then talks to Edge, who puts Test down and says he's going to win. The bell rings and they vie for position. Edge with a series of forearms. Test takes Edge down with a clothesline. It goes outside and Edge dropped on the barricade. Back in, Test continues the assault. Edge hits Test with a baseball slide. He continues the assault outside. Edge with a swinging neck breaker for a 1 count. Test guillotines Edge on the top rope. He chops Edge. Test with a corner whip and a clothesline. Test with a rear chin lock. Edge's arm doesn't fall 3 times. Test misses a charge and Edge hits a missile drop kick for a 2 count. Test with a clothesline for a 2 count. They trade blows. Edge misses a crossbody. Test puts Edge on the top turnbuckle. Edge blocks a superplex. He gets down and drop kicks Test as he was coming off the top rope. A double count is going. Both up and slug it out. Edge with a clothesline. Edge with a face buster for a 2 count. Edge counters a pump handle slam attempt with an execution for a 2 count. Test hits a spear. He hits a pump handle slam for a 2 count. Edge counters a powerbomb with a head scissors and hits a spear for a 2 count. Edge counters another powerbomb attempt to get a roll-up to win and unify the championships. Kurt Angle talks to Stephanie in the back. She says with everything happening, she's stressed out. If they lose, she'll have to become a regular person. Angle tells her not to worry. Tag title unification cage match. WWF Tag Team Champions the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon with Stacy Keibler versus WCW World Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. Jeff Hardy tells Lita he is ready. Lita asks Jeff about Matt. He comes out and says this is his dream. They leave and Trish Stratus is shown coming out of Matt's dressing room. Flashback to what has been happening concerning the Hardys with Lita and Trish. The Hardy Boys are extremely popular with the North Carolina crowd. The belts are presented. The cage is locked. Bubba and Matt start. Matt has the early advantage on Bubba. Jeff tagged in, and Bubba is double teamed. Bubba with a side slam. Devon tagged in. Jeff hits a drop kick. Matt tagged in, and Matt beats Devon in. Devon with a suplex. He gets a 2 count. Devon with a back elbow. Bubba tagged in. He drops an elbow for a 2 count. Devon tagged in. Matt hits a death drop. Jeff tagged in. He hits both Dudleys with shots. Hardy's cleaning house and hitting poetry in motion. Matt's side Russian leg sweeps Devon from the top rope, and Bubba hits a Bubba bomb on Jeff from the top turnbuckle. Bubba tries to lead but gets slammed off by Matt for a 2 count. Matt rammed into the cage. They do the same to Jeff, who starts to climb the cage to a massive pop. Bubba grabs Jeff's leg. The Dudleys hit the Doomsday Device on Jeff. Matt breaks up the pin attempt after a hanging neckbreaker by the Dudleys. The Dudleys smash Matt between the ropes and the cage. Jeff ran into the cage. The Dudleys missed splash attempts. Matt with a double clothesline. The Dudleys ran into the cage. Matt with a DDT to Bubba for a 2 count. Double backdrop to Bubba by the Hardys. The Hardys hit a splash leg drop combo to Bubba, and Devon breaks up the pin. Matt climbs the cage. Devon follows, and Matt is caught up in the cage. The Dudleys hit the what's up to Jeff. Bubba tells Keibler to get the table. She grabs one and comes on to referee Nick Patrick to get the key to open the door. The Dudleys set the table up. The Hardys stop the Dudleys' attempt. Matt starts to climb. He beats Bubba off and drops down. Jeff gets a 2 count. Back and forth between Devon and Jeff. Jeff starts to climb. He misses the Swanton bomb through the table when Devon moves. Bubba gets the pin to become the unified tag champions. Lita and Matt check on Jeff. Officials and medics are out. They load Jeff onto a stretcher. JR and Paul talk to WWF Commissioner Mick Foley, who is at WWF New York. We then see Test jump Scotty 2 Hotty in the back. Immunity Battle Royal. The winner cannot be fired for 1 year. Test takes Scotty 2 Hotty's spot. The other participants are Billy Gunn, Bradshaw, Farouk, Lance Storm, Billy Kidman, DDP, Albert, Taz, Perry Saturn, Raven, Chuck Palumbo, Crash Holly, Justin Credible, Sean Stasiak, Steven Richards, Tommy Dreamer, The Hurricane, Spike Dudley, Hugh Morris, Chavo Guerrero, and Funaki. Forearms are flying. Guys are slowly getting eliminated. Test wins, throwing out Billy Gunn last. Booker T and Shane McMahon are shown in the back. Booker says he doesn't trust Steve Austin. Shane reassures Booker that Austin is the guy. 6-pack challenge for the WWF Women's Championship. Trish Stratus, Jacqueline, Lita, Ivory, Mighty Molly, and Jazz are the participants. Jazz and Lita start. They trade blows. Jackie and Molly tagged in. Jackie gets a 1 count. They trade moves. Stratus and Ivory in. The action here is fast and furious. Ivory hits Lita on the apron. All 6 women are in now. Jackie lures Lita in and hits her with a clothesline. Lita hits a moonsault on Ivory, but the pin gets broken up. Jazz rakes Lita's eyes. The crowd is solidly behind Lita. Stratus hits Stratisfaction on Ivory to get the pin. Vince McMahon looks over the 5 WWF competitors. He tells them that he has every confidence in them, but if they lose, not one fan can forgive them. They will be disgraced and ridiculed. He names people that have passed away that led to the place where they have gotten. He says they fight tonight for survival. He tells them to go out and do it. The Alliance team is then shown ready and walking down a corridor. Flashback to how the main event came about. Winner takes all match of Survival 5-on-5 Team WWF, Chris Jericho, The Rock, The Undertaker, Kane, and The Big Show versus Team Alliance, Shane McMahon, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Kurt Angle, and Steve Austin. The Alliance team is introduced first as the rest of the Alliance is shown looking at a monitor in the back. Team WWF is then introduced and the crowd is hot for this. It takes a while to get started. Austin and Rock exchange blows as soon as Rock gets in the ring. The bell rings. Back and forth. Austin with a Thez press. He gets a 2 count. Rock then hits a Thez press. McMahon makes the save. Booker tagged in. Rock with the clothesline. And McMahon makes the save again. Jericho tagged in and attacked Booker. RVD tagged in to a big ovation. Jericho with a shoulder block. Jericho with a spin heel kick. He attacks RVD's back. He chops RVD. Jericho misses a drop kick. RVD gets a 2 count. Jericho turns a Hurricane Rana attempt into the walls of Jericho and McMahon again makes the save. Kane and Angle tagged in. They trade blows. Kane with a corner whip and a clothesline. Angle with a belly to back suplex. Kane with a sidewalk slam and a top rope clothesline. And McMahon again makes the save. Undertaker tagged in. He attacks Angle. They trade back elbows. Booker tagged in. Undertaker hits a leg drop and McMahon makes the save. Undertaker does old school. Undertaker works on Booker's left arm. Booker shifts weight and gets a 2 count. Undertaker goes for a cover and McMahon again makes the save. Austin tagged in and beats Undertaker down in the corner. He chokes Undertaker on the second rope, but Undertaker moves on a leapfrog body guillotine attempt. Undertaker does old school again. The heels get Undertaker in their corner and attack him again. Angle tagged in. Angle with a swinging neckbreaker for a 2 count. Back and forth. Big Show tagged in. He beats Angle down in the corner. He throws Angle across the ring. RVD tagged in. Big Show military presses RVD and then knocks the rest of the alliance off the apron. Angle hits the Angle slam on Big Show. Booker tagged in and hits Big Show with a scissor kick. RVD tagged in and hits the 5-star frog splash. McMahon then hits a flying elbow drop to pin Big Show. Rock in and beating McMahon down. Kane tagged in. He chokeslams McMahon. Undertaker tagged in and tombstones McMahon. Jericho in and hits the Lionsault to pin McMahon. Angle in against Jericho. Jericho with a backbreaker. Austin breaks up the pin. Angle with a takedown. Booker tagged in. Booker with a knee drop. RVD tagged in. He attacks Jericho. Jericho comes back and gets a 2 count. Kane tagged in. He continues the beatdown. RVD comes back. Booker tries to interfere, but Kane takes him down. RVD hits the 5-star frog splash on Kane, and Kane comes back. All the wrestlers get in and start to brawl. It goes outside. RVD catches Kane with a kick and pins Kane. Undertaker is in with Booker and Austin. He gets all 4 Alliance members in corners and clotheslines them all. Undertaker hits the last ride on Angle. Booker distracts referee Earl Hebner and Austin hits a stunner on the Undertaker and puts Angle on the Undertaker, and Angle gets the pin. Booker throws Rock in. Booker stomps Rock as a Rocky chant goes out. Back and forth. Rock hits a DDT on Booker, but Angle makes the save. Rock hits a Samoan drop, but Austin makes the save. Rock runs Booker into Angle and gets a roll up to pin Booker. RVD in and trades shots with Rock. Jericho tagged in. He takes over on RVD. He gets a 2 count. Jericho hits a bulldog. They trade blows. RVD with a split leg moonsault on Jericho, who gets the knee up. Jericho with a SCF to get the pin. All 4 remaining competitors are in and brawling. Austin runs Rock into a ring post outside. Angle gets a side headlock on Jericho. Angle stomping Jericho and gets a 2 count. Austin tagged in. He gets Jericho down and gets a 2 count. Austin with a backdrop. Angle tagged in. He and Austin double team Jericho. Jericho gets the ankle lock on Angle, but Angle counters. Back and forth. Austin tagged in. He stomps Jericho down. Angle tagged in and kept the assault up. He gets a side headlock on. They trade chops. Double shot. Both men down. Rock and Angle tagged in. Rock cleans house. Rock gets Angle in the sharpshooter. Angle taps out. Hebner tries to get Rock to break the hold. Austin comes in with a forearm that takes Rock and Hebner down. Jericho tagged in. Austin rolls through a crossbody to get a 2 count. Austin is bleeding from the mouth. Austin gets his knees up on a Lionsault and gets a 2 count. Austin puts Jericho on the top rope. Jericho hits a missile drop kick for a 2 count. Austin counters with a roll up to pin Jericho. The crowd cheers wildly when it's down to Austin and The Rock. Jericho doesn't want to leave. Rock hits the spine buster. Jericho hits Rock with a skull crusher finale before leaving. Austin covers Rock for a 2 count. Undertaker comes down and confronts Jericho. They argue up the ramp, both men down in the ring as the Rocky chant goes out. Austin hammers Rock. Austin argues with Hebner. Rock thrown out of the ring by Austin. Rock and Austin trade shots. They battle on the Spanish announce table. Austin runs Rock into a ring post. They go over the Spanish announce table after each other. Back in, Rock chops Austin. Austin with a spine buster. Austin puts Rock in the sharpshooter. Rock gets to the ropes. Austin stomps Rock. Austin grabs the WWF title, but Rock ducks the shot and puts Austin in the sharpshooter. Austin gets to the ropes. Rock reapplies the hold and Austin gets to the ropes again. Rock hits Austin with the stunner. A double count is going. Rock covers Austin, but referee Nick Patrick pulls Hebner out and hits him before he can count to 3. Rock goes to rock bottom Patrick, but gets rock bottom by Austin. He gets a close 2 count. Austin hits Patrick and brings Hebner in. Rock throws Austin off into Hebner. Austin pushes Rock off and hits a stunner. There's no referee to count, though. Angle comes out and hits Austin with the WWF title, and Rock gets the pin. The crowd in the WWF locker room celebrate. Heyman looks stunned. The Alliance can't believe it. JR tells Heyman he's out of work and Angle screwed the Alliance. Stephanie is shown crying. Rock celebrates. Vince McMahon comes out to celebrate. Austin can't believe it as they sign off from Greensboro. Final thoughts. An enjoyable event in the Alliance storyline is finally over. You can follow me on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.